This is Channel 9 Eyewitness News this morning. Coverage you can count on.
The U.S. has captured Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. He's expected to be in court later today. Reaction now from across the globe and right here in Central Florida.
A Brevard County animal hospital has taken in dozens of seabirds over the past 2 months. What experts believe is causing the birds to wash up along our coast.
Plus, a couple's savings account was wiped out in seconds after what seemed to be an innocent phone call. How to spot scammers and what to do if this ever happens to you.
Well, good morning. I'm Darlene Jones. Your time now is 5 o'clock on the dot. It is Monday, January 5th, the first full week of the new year.
But not for kids in Orange County. They have an extra day. I'm Alexa Lorenzo. We check your weather and traffic every 10 minutes. That break coming to a close now. Here's certified meteorologist Cassandra Crimmy in Severe Weather Center 9. Foggy start.
Very, very foggy start. So for those of you who are headed back to work today, keep this in mind. Possibly some extra time in and around downtown Orlando. We've seen the fog. All of us mentioned it as we were walking into work and driving into work this morning. You can see Lake, Orange, Seminole, interior Volusia, interior Brevard, and Osceola County all kind of shaded in this gray marking. That's because we have that dense fog advisory that goes until 9 o'clock. But look at the numbers. They tell the story where the visibility is under a mile in a lot of spots. We're even see it go under a half a mile in a few locations. Orlando and Melbourne, some of the hardest hit with some of the thickest fog at the current hour. We're looking at the visibility in those communities right at around 0.3 of a mile. And we'll continue to monitor this because, again, fog, it's a surface cloud. It kind of moves and shuffles around, and it'll continue to do that for us all morning long. On top of that, the temperatures, they are mild. Above the fog, we've got some extra cloud cover here early this morning. But what we're going to anticipate as we get through the afternoon, after the foggy conditions burn off, which will be about 10 o'clock for most of us, it is going to be a quiet and a much warmer day, and the warm-up's going to continue for the rest of the week. I'll tell you when I expect 80s back in Central Florida coming up. Our time right now is just about 5:02. We'll get a check of the roads with Alexa.
Cassie, we start this morning on I-4 moving westbound before 1792 in Sanford. We have a broken vehicle off to the shoulder here, not causing any issues for the main line drive. Taking you to University Boulevard right near Rouse Road, not far from UCF. Drivers aren't seeing any issues through this stretch as crews work a crash, but it's foggy across Central Florida, showing you what drivers on the 408 are seeing right near Crystal Lake Drive. Make sure you're keeping good distance between you and the car in front of you. We'll show you a crash on 192 near Disney next.
All right, thanks, Alexa. We start with a developing story. The president of Venezuela will appear in a New York City courtroom today in a matter of hours. He and his wife were captured in a U.S. raid this past weekend. Channel 9 Sam Martello joins us live here in the studio this morning. And Sam, President Trump now saying the U.S. is in control there.
Yep, that's what we heard him say. And right now, Maduro and his wife are being held in Brooklyn and will make their initial appearance in court today. This comes as the future of Venezuela is still uncertain. Trump says Maduro's capture will lead to lower oil prices and fewer drugs coming to the U.S. But Central Floridians are split on how to feel about this operation. We'll have that part of the story for you coming up in 30 minutes. Live in studio, Sam Martello, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
All right, thanks, Sam. People around the world are celebrating the arrest of Nicolas Maduro. Take a look there on the left. Venezuelans living in Lima, Peru, flooding the streets there celebrating. And then on the right there in Colombia, you can see people chanting "Free Venezuela" following the news of his capture. In the next half hour, we will show you our local reaction here to this major international story. President Trump has vowed to run the country, as you just heard there, and oil that comes with it for the near future. How much oil is really there, though? Here is a list of the billions of barrels in oil reserves. The top countries of OPEC have. Venezuela has the most with over 300. Saudi Arabia has more than 250. Iran has just over 200, and Iraq 145 oil reserves. How much oil exists underground that can be recovered?
Central Florida's congressional leaders are split on the capture of Venezuela's president. Republican Congressman Randy Fine posted on X, quote, "The United States of America is safer today because of the leadership of President Donald J. Trump and the bravery and heroism of the American military, which again provided itself and proved itself the best in the world." Best news of the night, no American casualties, our narco-terrorist dictator in custody, and a country pacified. Trust Trump. Maxwell Frost, the Democratic representative for Florida's 10th district, said, quote, What President Trump is doing in Venezuela is illegal, dangerous, and outside the bounds of his constitutional authority. He went on to say, quote, his claim that the United States is now going to run the country of Venezuela until the so-called proper transition takes place is unacceptable and unconstitutional. We'll continue to follow the growing tensions between the U.S. and Venezuela. You can count on Channel 9 to bring you the latest developments tonight on WFTV.com and on Eyewitness News at 11.
A registered sex offender is now facing charges for kidnapping and torture in Flagler County. Deputies say Darnell Hairston, who you see here, lured the 15-year-old victim to a campsite. We first told you about this story last week here on Eyewitness News. The sheriff's office there in Flagler County released this video of Hairston running away during a traffic stop and the 15-year-old taking the truck, which ended in a crash you see here. Flagler County deputies say Hairston was planning to kill the victim because the child knew about another crime he was allegedly involved in.
I think we all believed he was going to die that night, and our victim felt that way also. He was truly frightened.
Investigators say the 11-year-old victim says Hairston choked him, tied him up, and forced him to drink whiskey and smoke marijuana. Deputies credit a tip from a caller who reported seeing Hairston with 2 children. We've been detailing the swan deaths at Lake Eola Park in Orlando. Coming up in the next 10 minutes here on Eyewitness News, Brevard County's Florida Wildlife Hospital is also seeing an increase in sick birds there. Why veterinarians don't think these seabirds have avian flu. We'll have that story coming up at 5:15.
Well, the first Space Coast launch of the new year is now in the books. 29 Starlink satellites are in low Earth orbit following the early launch Sunday. Take a look.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Engines full power and liftoff. Go Falcon, go Starlink.
After separation, that booster landed on a drone ship in the Atlantic Ocean. The next launch is a SpaceX launch set for Thursday just before 1:30 p.m. Coming up on 5:10, we check your weather and traffic every 10 minutes. Certified meteorologist Cassandra Crimmy's getting us started in Severe Weather Center 9.
Right, and taking you outside, I've been looking at a lot of our tower cams. This is over in Port Canaveral, where you can see a lot of the fog that I am tracking for us early this morning. Dense fog advisories issued for a large portion of Central Florida. This goes for multiple hours, lasting until 9 o'clock for us. But you can see why area-wide we've got visibility issues and concerns in a lot of spots in Brevard County, Osceola, Orange County. We've seen the visibility fall below a mile, even up in DeLand, the visibility down to about a half a mile for us this morning. So I'm going to continue to monitor these levels. We'll kind of do a deeper dive into some of these communities as well, coming up in about 10 to 20 minutes. But temperatures comfortable, mid and upper 50s, some 60s even. And we're going to keep morning temperatures like this in place for most of this week. So we're saying goodbye to kind of that winter chill, and we'll feel it in the afternoon as well. You can see hour by hour today in Cocoa Beach, the cloudier skies for the front half of the day. Again, the low-lying clouds through about 10 o'clock, getting a break later this afternoon with partly cloudy skies. Near the attractions, also that fog through about 9 to 10. Then we'll get partly cloudy with highs today back in the mid and upper 70s. And it gets even warmer from here. I've got 80s and a lot of them back in the forecast. We'll talk more about that coming up in 10 minutes. Our time now, 5:11. We'll get to check the roads with Alexa.
Cass, thank you. We have a new crash on 192 in World Drive in Osceola County, not far from Disney. State Trooper is piecing this one together, not seeing any shakeups as you make your way through. Here's Traffic Team 9's Dory Don.
Good morning, Alexa. Looking like a foggy morning on this early drive, so use those low beams, but so far so good. I-4 east and west. No delays between Fairbanks past John Young Parkway. Also looking good on the 408 in both directions between Crystal Lake Drive past Kirkman. We'll show you construction on I-95 in Brevard County coming up. Darlene?
All right, thank you. And a family demanding answers this morning in the death of their loved one. We were there as the Lake County community came together in prayer. Alexa?
Dozens of birds have died after washing up on beaches in Brevard County. We spoke with experts at a nearby wildlife hospital about the cause.
Drone 9, only on Channel 9 Eyewitness News, getting you closer over the scene of breaking news. Sponsored by Bogan Munns & Munns. No gimmicks, just results.
The Florida Wildlife Hospital is asking people not to disturb the birds unless they plan on transporting them to the hospital for care.
A former Publix building near the Gaylord Palms could soon become a hotel or another retail store. Our partners at the Orlando Business Journal reporting Osceola County is considering a Saudi Arabian company to buy the building on the corner of I Drive and 192. The company already owns an apartment complex near the area. The property's future land use is designated for tourism and other commercial use.
Belle Isle police say a caring little girl made their day. They say she gave one of their canine officers a Christmas present, and they want to say thank you. The gift was for Canine Belle. You can see her here. But officers say they forgot this little girl's name in all of the excitement, and they say Belle would love to reconnect with her and give her a big thank you for the generous gift. Very, very sweet. And I think we will be able to track this sweet little girl down.
Sure.
We're going to find her. I love that story. We get you outside. It is very, very foggy around Central Florida. We had some of it yesterday morning. If you were up early, ladies, I
was not. I'm sorry.
What's early to you?
Earlier than I think you got it.
Yeah, probably.
But anyways, a lot of us are headed back to work today, so you'll want to be aware of this. This is downtown Orlando. You can't see any of the building lights, even some of the holiday lights that are still on for us across the lake. You can see the areas of fog indicated there. Near the airport, our visibility is down to 0.3 of a mile, and there are a lot of communities where the visibility is very, very low. Thick fog you can see in Kissimmee as we head into Winter Haven, Melbourne down to about 0.5 mile as well for us early this morning. And I expect this fog to linger through at least 9 o'clock. And I say at least because that's when the dense fog advisory goes through. But I'm going to go through the models and I'm going to show you that the models indicate that they could stick around the fog through the 10, even leading into the 11 o'clock hour. This is at 12:15, and we're just starting to see some breakage happening in our far interior zones. Hopefully we can burn the fog off a little bit earlier than that. But we're going to keep an eye on that for us. Partly cloudy skies beyond that, and then temperatures will start to warm. We've got a mild start to the day, though, with the mid and upper 50s, a couple of low 60s even. Cocoa Beach and Melbourne at 60 degrees. But the Villages, again, 8, 9, 10 o'clock, you can still see we've got the low-lying clouds, mostly cloudy, eventually partly cloudy, with temperatures back into the 70s. Near the attractions, again, the foggy, cloudy start lasting through 10 o'clock. Then they'll see plenty of sunshine, and it'll be a nice day today if you're going to be hitting the parks for that last day of winter break for the kiddos in Orange County. We'll have highs back in the 70s, 76, so warmer again today, and only expected to get warmer from here. DeLand, 75, 74 in Leesburg, Claremont, 74 as well, but through the rest of the week, it's going to feel like early spring. We've got highs back in the 80s. Take a look at the 7-day forecast, the weekend always in view. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high of 80. I think we could see some patchy fog again tomorrow morning, so keep that in mind as you're getting yourself ready to bring the kiddos back to school. Low 80s, though, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We'll start to get some of those temperature changes and dropping back off by Sunday afternoon. Our time now, 5:20. We'll get a check of the roads with Alexa.
Cassie, thank you. Into Brevard County we go. We have construction wrapping up on I-95, moving southbound just after Pineda Causeway. All lanes are opening up for drivers, no longer seeing the cones stretched out through here. Here's Traffic Team 9's Dory Dunn.
Hey, Alexa, great conditions on your early morning drive. I-4 West between DeBerry Avenue and the 408 is a 22-minute travel time. Just 9 minutes I-4 East between World Drive and the Beach Line. We'll show you a crash by the Waterford Lakes Mall in 10 minutes. Darlene?
All right, thanks, Dory. It started as an innocent phone call and ended with a nightmare. How scammers were able to use the couple's own personal information against them and how you can protect yourself.
Then next, consumer advisor Clark Howard explains why you need to pay extra attention before you book your next hotel room.
Your time now is 5:24 on the dot. Good morning and welcome back. I'm Darlene Jones.
And I'm Alexa Lorenzo. Finding great deals on hotel rooms is quite an adventure, and it can keep you on budget for your vacations. But that could also lead to your hard-earned money being stolen.
Always a scammer out there. Channel 9 consumer advisor Clark Howard explains how you could be scammed while searching for a hotel.
A lot of drivers across Central Florida will be seeing higher prices at the gas pump this morning. The average price for a regular gallon of gas in Florida is now $2.81. That's up 7 cents from last week when it was $2.74 a gallon. The price of gas in Orange County is $2.84. In Brevard County, it's sitting at around $2.81.
Tesla is no longer the world's largest seller of electric vehicles. Chinese EV maker BYD reported it sold more than 2 million electric vehicles last year. Tesla says it sold 1.6 million. BYD was able to dethrone Tesla even though its vehicles aren't available for purchase in the U.S. Tesla is available in China and is one of the company's largest markets behind America.
This morning, police are still looking for persons of interest following a shooting in Leesburg back in the middle of December.
Coming up, we were there as a community came together mourning the loss and looking for closure.
And the president of Venezuela is scheduled to be in court this afternoon. We have reactions from Central Floridians following his capture.
And early this morning, I've got a lot of fog to track coming up in just about 10 minutes. We'll go hour by hour through how long it will last as we get you into your morning commute. Our time right now, 5:26.
Watch Eyewitness News from any device with Eyewitness News live stream. Sponsored by Bogan Munz & Munz. No gimmicks, just results.
Saving you money every day on Channel 9.
This is Channel 9 Eyewitness News this morning. Coverage you can count on.
The president of Venezuela is scheduled to be in court this afternoon. We have reaction from Central Florida in the wake of his capture.
And a family is still demanding answers in the death of one of their loved ones. We were there as the Lake County community came together in prayer.
Plus, a family lost all of their savings in a matter of seconds. What you need to watch out for so you don't become a victim of a scam like this.
5:30 as we start a new week together. Good morning. Good morning. I'm Alexa Lorenzo.
And I'm Darlene Jones. Of course, we check your weather and traffic every 10 minutes. Certified meteorologist Cassandra Crimmy is tracking some fog this morning in Severe Weather Center 9.
Right, in thick fog, Darlene. We've got a dense fog advisory up for Volusia, interior Volusia County, Seminole Lake, Orange, interior Brevard, and Osceola County early this morning. And this is why. Take a look at the visibility numbers that I've been tracking all morning long. There's a lot of spots where that fog is so thick that our visibility is cut down to under a mile, and some spots even under a half mile. Look at OIA. We continue to track that 0.3 of a mile for our visibility concerns, and indications that although our advisory goes until 9 o'clock, we could likely see this push beyond the 9 o'clock hour. Look at the numbers. At 10 is when we're starting to get some improvement, but 9:30, we still could have fractions of a mile for that visibility, and then we're looking at much better shape as we head towards the afternoon, which will help us warm up from a pretty spring-like start to our day. We're right now in the upper 50s and low 60s. You can see Daytona 60 degrees now, Cocoa Beach, Melbourne also 60 degrees. We've got highs returning to the 70s again, but then we're eventually going to get back into the 80s this week. I'll take you through that spring-like forecast coming up in just about 10. 5:31 is now our time. We'll get a check of the roads with Alexa.
Cassie, thank you. We have a new crash on Alafaya Trail right near Lake Underhill Road. This is by the Waterford Lakes Town Center. State troopers are working this one. All lanes still open. Taking you to our highways, we have a broken down vehicle on I-4 westbound and 1792 in Sanford. You can see road rangers off to the right shoulder. Your main lanes are unaffected. Live look into downtown Orlando, dealing with that limited visibility this morning. Make sure you're keeping that space between you and the vehicle in front of you. We'll show you a crash on 192 near Disney in the next 10 minutes.
We continue our coverage this morning on the capture of Venezuela's president. It is hitting home right here in Central Florida. We saw some of the tension firsthand as protesters took to the streets in Orlando over this past weekend, speaking out against the operation. Channel 9 Sam Martello is live for us in the studio monitoring developments. And Sam, we expect the president of Venezuela to appear in a New York City courtroom today.
Darlene, the president and his wife are being held in Brooklyn and will make their initial appearance in court today. Central Floridians are torn on the U.S. operation. Maduro has long denied drug trafficking. The Trump administration denies the claims that it broke the law. Live in studio, Sam Martello, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
This morning, the search continues for two persons of interest in the murder of a Lake County teenager. The family of 18-year-old Juan Gomez held a vigil demanding justice. Channel 9's J.J. Burton reports they also celebrated the teen's birthday.
Happening today, a man accused of attacking a woman in College Park is scheduled to appear in court this morning. Tyler Fight has a hearing to discuss his latest charge linked to a violation of probation. He was 3 weeks into that probation when police arrested him again last month. Police say he missed a required evaluation and was arrested again.
A scammer stole a family's life savings, and it all started with just a simple phone call. Coming up in the next 10 minutes, what Action 9 says you can do to help protect your money from clever crooks over the phone. If your commute takes you on State Road 417 this morning, you may see some road work. Pile driving starts this morning in just about 20 minutes at 6 o'clock on the Winter Spring Road Bridge there. The work will continue until 8 at night on most days, so you may see some noise, hear some noise, and feel some vibrations in that area. The work should wrap up by February 6th. It's all part of a widening project in the area.
Well, time now on this Monday morning, 5:38, and we check your weather and traffic every 10 minutes. Certified meteorologist Cassie Crimmy and Severe Weather Center 9, and that fog is still settling in over the area.
That's right. Across a lot of central Florida, we've got this thick fog. This is over in Port Canaveral for us early this morning, just before 5:40, where portions of Brevard County, Volusia County are under a dense fog advisory. This is going to extend inland into Seminole, Orange, Lake, and Osceola County for us this morning. The advisory itself goes until 9 o'clock. We'll likely see thick fog through 9 o'clock and potentially could even see it lasting through 10 o'clock in a lot of spots. But look at these numbers. I wanted to zoom down a little bit closer to Seminole, Orange, Osceola, where we have the advisory in place, and almost every single one of these communities outside of just a few has visibility under a mile. Near Lake Hart, near Wedgefield, near Williamsburg, Celebration, St. Cloud, Kissimmee, even Deer Park over in parts of Osceola County, visibility right at around a half a mile this morning. So take that extra time. Alexa will be talking a lot about the fog on the roadways, but here we are at 7:45 this morning, still tracking the thick conditions. 9:30, still locations where visibility is under a half a mile, and we'll continue to see that burn off through that 9 to 10 o'clock window. But our temperatures beyond the fog will be the story. We've got mid to upper 50s now, some low 60s. Later today, warming back into the mid and upper 70s, and then I've got a bunch of 80s to deliver. I'll have more on that coming up in just about 10. 5:40 is now our time. We'll get a check of the roads with Alexa.
Cassie, thank you. Into Osceola County we go. We have a crash on 192 in World Drive, not far from Disney. State troopers working this one, all lanes still open as you drive on through. Here's Traffic Team 9's Dory Don.
Hey, Alexa, here's a live look. I-4 and World Drive. You can see that fog on the road, so drive with caution and use those low beams. Your taillights are your eastbound travel lanes, and you're looking good from World Drive past Apopka Vineland, clear all the way to the beach line. No delays on those westbound lanes. We'll break down your drive times coming up. Darlene?
All right, thanks, Dory. A cow is now back home in her pasture after a 20-month journey. Coming up, how Stella, there she is, finally made her way back home.
A savings scam drained one family's entire account. What you need to know to make sure it doesn't happen to your family.
Family Feud presents great moments in bad answers.
Something Steve Harvey and The Rock have in common.
You're both actors on TV, Steve?
I ain't acting at all.
Family Feud.
This is really how I am.
Brought to you by Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Tampa.
Every day on Channel 9 Eyewitness News, we ask the tough questions. We investigate to protect your money. We hold the powerful accountable and dig into the stories about your safety. Every day on Channel 9 Eyewitness News. Martha Sigalski, Greg Wormuth, and Chief Meteorologist Tom Terry on Channel 9.
Welcome back. It's 5:43 as we take a live look over Lake Eola Park. Can't really see the lights this morning. We are dealing with fog as you swing the door open. Certified meteorologist Cassandra Crimmy will time out our temperatures and detail when we could see some of this fog burn off. Welcome back to you. 5:44 now. I'm Alexa Lorenzo.
And I'm Darlene Jones. A family's savings was wiped out in a matter of seconds. A scammer tricked them into sending 2 wire transfers.
The wires totaled around $9,500. Jason Stujenki shows you how to protect yourself from a scam that starts with a simple phone call.
Brevard County is taking a close look at the future of a local tax that helps clean up the Indian River Lagoon. The half-cent sales tax will expire later this year, and county leaders are considering whether to put a renewal on the ballot later this year. Before making the decision, they're asking for public input at 2 community workshops. The first is today at 5 p.m. over at Titusville City Hall, and another next Monday at Palm Bay City Hall. Sabrina Carpenter is teaming up with some iconic characters for a new TV event.
This is a fun one. The singer will join Miss Piggy, Kermit the Frog, and the rest of the Muppet Gang in a brand new special airing February 4th right here on Channel 9. Disney made the announcement ahead of the Muppets show's 50th anniversary. It'll celebrate the original series that ran from 1976 to 1981. Carpenter will perform on stage at the original Muppet Theater. Love to see it. A good throwback there.
Yeah, it was a staple in many homes. Yeah. For years.
Do your kids know the Muppets?
They do not.
They don't. Honestly, I was like, I don't think they've seen anything with the Muppets.
No.
Looks like it's about time. Right? We get you outside. We've got very foggy conditions around Central Florida. Excuse me. Central Florida. We've got the fog. Now, this is high up in elevation. We're on top of one of our large buildings. You can see the 55 West building, bottom left-hand side there, getting that little bit of a glow. You can barely see it, but it's there. And a lot of Central Florida is under this blanket of fog, which is dropping that visibility for us. And you can see area-wide just how thick it is. The visibility numbers down to a half a mile, if not under, from portions of Polk, Osceola into Orange and Brevard County as well. So zooming into some of the more finer communities, you can see here Celebration, Kissimmee, St. Cloud, Holopaw, even into Deer Park. We've got the visibility under a mile, just above it in Holopaw, but a lot of thick fog as well. Melbourne and Palm Bay for us this morning as we wake up. And this is going to last through at least 9 o'clock. That's when the advisory goes to, but Severe Weather Center 9 Future Track, really the fog doesn't completely burn off until about 11 to 12 o'clock. Then we're left behind with partly cloudy and dry skies today, and that's going to help warm things up. So again, be ready for the fog, the low-lying clouds through the front half of the day. A little bit more sunshine returning with 70s back today, which is going to be a big jump up from what we had yesterday. A lot of communities didn't get into the 70s. We had somewhat of a cool Sunday afternoon, but today we're back to about 76 degrees in Orlando, 77 in Sanford, 75 Claremont and Leesburg, and 73 for that high in Ocala. But moving forward, this is just the beginning of what's going to feel very spring-like. I think we'll have the return of some patchy fog again tomorrow morning. Temperatures will continue to climb. We've got highs that are expected to climb into the 80s, getting almost 10 degrees above average for multiple days. Outside of Monday and Sunday, I'm forecasting highs in the low 80s. So by Tuesday, we'll have mostly sunny skies, that high of 80 degrees. That'll last for the rest of the work week, those 80s, and will continue to roll over into at least the start of this upcoming weekend. Saturday, we'll have partly cloudy skies and a high of 82. Our time right now is just about 5:50. We'll get a check of the roads with Alexa.
Cassie, thank you. We start in Volusia County, where we have a crash on I-95 heading southbound just after LPGA Boulevard. You can see this semi off to the shoulder now. Traffic is still getting by on those 2 main lanes. Showing you Volusia County as a whole. Not seeing any shakeups in New Smyrna Beach. Looking good in DeBerry and DeLand. Checking out those drive times, the live data coming in for you. Still green across the board. We'll let you know when we start seeing some slowdowns. We'll take you to the turnpike near OBT next.
More than 100 dead birds were found along Florida's Space Coast. Next, what wildlife experts say is to blame.
And after a storm helped free her, Stella, the cow, is back in her own pasture after 20 months. Quite the long time. The incredible story of her return next.
Welcome back. Your time now is 5:53. If you are just waking up with us this morning, take a look. You can see we are dealing with some pretty dense fog across Central Florida this morning. Good morning. I'm Darlene Jones.
There's a massive cruise ship behind that blanket of fog.
Yeah, you can't
even see it. I'm Alexa Lorenzo. This morning we have a story of a reuniting. A beloved cow went missing in Flagler Estates nearly 2 years ago, but it's finally back home.
Yeah, Stella escaped during a storm back in 2024 and was spotted several times, but no one could catch her. Last week, a farmer spotted her, and with the help of ranchers and a few cowboys on horseback, Stella was finally returned back to the pasture.
Welcome back, Stella. If you drive an electric vehicle, you may soon have a new place to power up at Orlando International Airport. A proposed charging station would go on Frontage Road at the airport and include 6 DC fast chargers. The plan now heads to the Orlando Planning Board for approval February 17th.
If you're heading out in Cocoa this morning, you may want to leave a few minutes early. Crews are working on sewer repairs here at the intersection of South Orlando Avenue and South 4th Street. Crews have reduced the road to 1 lane in the area between South 3rd and 5th Streets. That work will run until January 16th.
Nature lovers in Central Florida have a chance now to get out and enjoy some fresh air later this month. The UF Institute of Food and Agricultural Sciences Extension in Orange County is hosting a walking tour of its exploration gardens Tuesday, January 20th from 10 to 11:30 in the morning. When you sign up, you'll also get educational materials and a packet of pollinator-friendly seeds to take home. If you're out and about in Winter Springs, you'll see some utility crews at work. Starting today, they will start citywide fire hydrant inspections. They'll be checking all 1,200 hydrants. Work will happen throughout the week from 7 a.m. until 5 in the evening. The city says it will notify residents about specific dates and locations ahead of time.
Daytona Beach police are saying goodbye to a beloved partner there with the force. Brummer, the police dog, passed away this past weekend. He joined the force back in 2017 and over the years helped Daytona Beach officers find drugs, guns, cars, and in one case over $1 million in cash. Daytona Beach police say Brummer was family, a loyal partner, and a big part of the team. Alexa?
We're hours away now from Nicolas Maduro appearing in a U.S. court. What's happening in Venezuela, plus reaction from right here in Central Florida and across the globe. Plus, a chase led investigators to an 11-year-old tortured and on the brink of death. How deputies put all these pieces together next. And dozens of birds have died after washing up on beaches in Brevard County. We're talking with a nearby wildlife hospital about the cause coming up at the top of this hour.